Hello, my name is Cat, and welcome to, well, I'm not quite sure what to call it. I guess a news roundup of a couple of different things. You probably have heard it already, but GvG is finally shutting down in a couple of days. And then today we got the news that Quantum Incursions will be available on mobile now, on beta. Up until now, it has only been available on browser. And also, there's quite a significant antique dealer rebalance, or I would almost say rework. So, definitely some interesting stuff to talk about, starting with, of course, the end of Guild versus a Guild. It's been talked about for a long time now, but now we finally have the date, Monday, the 18th of March 2024. That's when GvG will end on the live servers. So if you want to try it out, or if you want to go for a final push, this is the weekend to do so on. Now I will go through this in a moment, but I would like to hear what you think about this. Now that we have had some time to process it, and I'm also quite interested to hear how many of you actually play Guild versus Guild, because the last statistic I heard, of course, it's been a long time since that, was that 5% of the player base plays it, something like that. Of course, it doesn't really help that it is only available on browser, but regardless, I don't think a lot of people are playing it, so I would be interested to hear how many of you do, because I feel like those who watch me perhaps are a bit more active, so perhaps the ratio is higher. Regardless of that, though, I am quite sad to see GvG go. I had a lot of fun playing GvG back in the day. It's been a while, to be honest, since I played it actively. The last time I really played it actively was back in 2019, so almost 5 years now, 4.5 years, I suppose, back when they were testing on the international server, having 3 recalcs per day. So that was definitely quite an interesting idea that they wanted to try out. It was very fun at the time, very hectic, but of course, after a month or so, we all kind of burnt out. I understand why they didn't keep these changes, and since then, well, back then I think they already had started, or if not, the Guild Battlegrounds was right around the corner around here, so they definitely shifted focus over to that. Anyways, let's go through this just quickly, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it. So, unfortunately, we cannot give you a specific time frame during the day, so please expect the changes to be rolled out over the course of the day. Now, they're doing this on all servers, so I imagine they will probably stagger them a bit, so they can check that it's working on the first server and so on. So yeah, what changes exactly will the shutdown of GvG lead to? First of all, the access point in the HUD will be disabled. It will be replaced with a Quantum Incursion button in the future. The guild window, we have the support pool bonus and trusted members rank, they will be removed, and all mentions will be reworked. The guild level up rewards, the prestige and support pool reward will be removed. As for guild power, this will decrease due to this removal. However, once we introduce the Quantum Incursions, you will gain more again. So Quantum Incursions will compensate for this when it is out on the live servers. Guild level perk on local levels. So all guild levels after level 65 will not grant additional bonuses anymore. However, their effects will be reincorporated into the previous levels. The cap of recruitment time reduction will be increased very slightly from 38 to 40%. And the cap of forge points you get in the town hall will be increased to 20. Now level 100 will stay the max level, but as I understand it, there's not anything that goes on between level 65 and 100 at the moment, for at least. And we might revisit guild levels later on, but we can't guarantee any further changes. I feel like it's kind of a neglected area of the game, so perhaps they will do some changes, perhaps not. I guess we will see. Now, the used goods and medals for sieging, unlocking defensive arms, and so on they will not be reimbursed. So they recommend here granting independence to your sectors after the last daily recalc at 8 p.m. server time, as rankings won't change after that. And medals in Guild Treasury will not have any use for now, but perhaps it will have a use again. Perhaps later on in GvG, perhaps when that is updated, who knows. So I suppose if you do want some of those goods back, you can release stuff. But I think most guilds might not care too much, and for me at least, I would probably just play, have some fun the last couple of days, and then it is what it is. Anyways, as for great buildings, we do have some that give a support pool. And as I understand it, this was a little bit weirdly worded, that will be replaced by an attack and defense boost for defending army boost. So all the buildings like the observatory will provide that now instead of the support pool. And then, in addition, to commemorate the legendary run of GvG, we will be gifting all active players a special token, the last province building. This building is our token of gratitude to everybody who played GvG over the years. Its first visual version was introduced in 2015 as the Speaker's Corner and served as an exclusive reward of the Memorial Hero's Tale questline to honor the memory of Anwar Dalati, our colleague who was integral to the development of GvG and who sadly passed away back then. That was before my time, but from what people have said, he was definitely a very nice guy. So I suppose it's nice to see that they bring or continue with the kind of or basing it off of the same building to commemorate him even further, even though the feature that he was, as they say here, integral to, will now be removed. Now, to create the last province, we increase the effects of the original Speaker's Corner and give it new colors while keeping the unique look, especially recognizable to our long-time players. Keep in mind that it is a different building from the original Speaker's Corner. Alright, so that is it for the announcement. It is finally coming to an end. Again, as I said, I'm definitely sad to see it go, although, to be honest, I am not sure how many people will be missing it. Definitely a few, but exactly how many will be affected, that's hard to say. Now, of course, don't really need to rehash it that much, but as people have been saying, what happens if the very active players, those who actually do play GvG, what happens if they decide that this is it and now they want to leave? Who knows? Anyways, I don't really want to dwell on it, so let me know what you think. It is what it is. If you want to have some last fun in GvG, do so before this Monday. Alright, let's talk about some new stuff. Speaking of replacing GvG, Quantum Incursions, it's been out now for 3 weeks, I think it is, or 6 weeks, 3 seasons on beta. And now finally it will be also available on mobile. So what that leads me to believe is that, they definitely will do 2 more weeks of testing on beta. But then after that, I wouldn't be surprised to see it released on live. So I guess my bet would be in around 2 or 3 weeks before it comes out on live. Unless there are a lot of major problems testing it on mobile now, then it might be a little bit longer, perhaps 4 weeks or even longer. But unless you have any major things planned or major changes planned, which they haven't given any indication of, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Quantum Incursion start relatively soon. Now, I have been playing it for 3 weeks now, so I do have a better understanding, that's for sure. I will make a dedicated video when it is announced to release on beta, on live, sorry. I've been recording a lot of what I do, so I definitely have a lot of footage, a lot of tips and tricks and so on. As for my thoughts on it, I don't know, I kind of have mixed feelings. I do quite like it, but it's definitely no GvG replacement. And I do fear that after a couple of more rounds, it might be, perhaps bit too boring, because there's definitely not a lot of action. Personally, I find it quite relaxing, or I quite like that that it's not as hectic and so on as GvG, GvG and so on. But of course, it's not really what it's replacing, is something completely different from this. So even though I think it might be a cool feature, it's definitely not a good replacement, to say the least. So yeah, it's coming probably quite soon, in a couple of weeks, I would imagine. But of course, we'd never know. They might leave it on beta for a bit longer. But with the removal of GvG and the fact that it's now going out to mobile, I expect to see it quite soon. Now, let's end with something I didn't really see coming. Antiques Dealer Rebalance. Attention beta testers, with the most recent update we have added a selection of newer and widely used items to the Antiques Dealer, as well as applied balancing changes. The most prominent change you might have already noticed is that all items in the item shop now only cost gemstones. We hope the saved up coins will come in handy in the auctions. Please find the full list, so let's go here. Here we have a full list of all the changes. Before going into that though, just to visualize what I just said, now as you can see, the shop here will only use gemstones, and you can only get units and, how should I put it, you can't get buildings, let's put it that way. So let's go through it. So the item shop will now provide you forge points, current era and previous era goods, next era goods, medals, units, all the different types, random blueprints, some attack and defense boosts for attacking army, mass supply rushes, which quite nice for events and so on. Finish special goods and supply productions, sulfate kit, master sulfate kit, store building, one-up kit, and renovation kit. So kits and resources and so on will now be available from the shop itself, and then the auction now only contains buildings since the summer events 2023, which well, might sound that they're kind of ignoring old buildings. However, just quickly looking at this list, we do have these epic kits. So this epic spring selection kit, for example, will include all the older spring event buildings. So you can definitely still get all the old buildings if you still want them, but actually easier now because they're in a single kit or single selection kit. Now that said, we do see the starting price here for the Pagan Harvest selection kit. Quite good buildings, but the price, the starting bid, is 1.6 million, which I think that's quite a lot. I think I have a couple of million on live, or perhaps not. No, I think I do. Not that I've been selling a lot, but still, 1.6 million starting bid, that's very high if you ask me, so not sure if they will keep it. But anyways, so I'm not going to go through this full list. I will link this in the description. But as it says there, you can get most of the buildings since summer event 2023, including all of these epic kits here. So epic soccer for all the old soccer, epic fall for the fall set, for example, and so on. Plus all the regular stuff we can get, as you can see here, the platinum upgrade kit, we can get golden upgrade kit, silver upgrade kit. So if you miss out during events, you should now be able to get all of these kits from the antiques dealer. I imagine it might be quite expensive, especially close after the event if there are a lot of people that are looking for it. But eventually, if you miss these, you should be able to get them. Although that said, most of these buildings, not all, but most of these buildings, you are able to produce the silver and golden upgrade kits from the building themselves. So, quite a big change to the antique dealer. Now, disregarding the pricing for now, I definitely really like this change. We will have to see about the balancing. They might change that. But in terms of what you can get, it's really nice. Because one of the big drawbacks or downsides of the intake filler was that it had a lot of, to be frank, junk that you didn't really care about. So it took a long time between the items you really wanted. And I'm not sure about you, but me personally, I just wasn't interested in keeping up with it. So I haven't used it for, I don't know, a year or two. I haven't really been using it. So this might bring some life back into it. I haven't actually seen if so the trade-in rewards are the same. And notice I have this, the last province. That's the building here, isn't it? The last province building. So while we are here, why not build it? I don't really maintain this city very well, but why not? Ooh. Last, there it is. So the last province provides you attack and defense, both for attacking and defending army, as well as forge points and goods. Didn't see if it requires a road. It probably does. It does. So let's get it. Let's place it here. Why not? There we go. There we have the exclusive guild versus guild building that you can get, or that everybody will get by simply playing. I don't think you need to play GvG. Where is it? I thought it said, yeah, we will be gifting all active players. So, yeah, I don't think you need to play GvG to get it. You should get it as long as you are actively playing. Anyways, that's really all I wanted to talk about. I will have a beta recap most likely this weekend. It's been quite a long time, but we do have some interesting stuff, so looking forward to talk a bit more about those. But for now, I think I will end it there. But before I do, let me thank my Patreons for their support. I would like to thank Homestar, King Kelly, Dorothy 8, Dan Sumnat, Darkmatter, Mylia, 0K, THX, Basilitz, Hugo Count von Count, Drew the Genuine, Susan Weiss, Rocco, Sparkle No Remorse, Atomic, Flowers the Avenger, Outler, Whiskeymaster, Mar and Sir, Host, Tusiot, Henrik Darklaber, Adarel, Mike, After the Obsessed, Ruth, Karen, Dennis, Flowers Beltarius, Poacher, Mistake97, Mike So, Michael, Early Morning, Kamara the Hawk, and Davis O'Malley. Thanks a lot for your support, thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you in the future. Bye bye.